And well, good morning.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good middle of the night, wherever you are, whatever time it is. And today in this video, you want to stick around because if you are a female and you want to lose weight and you've ever struggled with shame, sugar, what was the third one you had? Stress, or a bonus S that I just thought of, which I'm going to share with you later in this episode. I literally just thought about it. Then you're going to want to stick around because have we got a show for you? What movie is that from?
I don't know.
Have we got a show for you? Is it Mrs. Doubtfire?
Maybe.
Anywho, welcome to today's episode of Espresso with Erin and Sarit. If you didn't know it was called Espresso with Erin and Sarit, now you do. And also today we are actually drinking espresso. And really quickly, because I'm so good at talking, I want to give you the history of how that name came about. Okay. When we lived in California and we were on Pacific Coast time, we would do these episodes every single day of the week, work week, and it would be at like 6 a.m.
6:30.
6:30 in the morning. Now,
so same time as
do you
now.
know what I realize? It is the same time as now, but we are on the East Coast. We've been on the East Coast for the past over 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And so, we used to do these. It's still like time for coffee, which maybe is any time of the day if your name is Melanie O'Connor. And I hope she's watching. So anyways, welcome to Espresso with Erin and Sarit. Cheers.
Cheers. It's great to be with you. So I feel like you shared it like in the twisted way, in the sense that if you feel like you've been stalling on your weight loss or body transformation goals, as a matter of fact, for anybody who's live with us, can you guys please drop in the chat, like, what is it that you're seeking in terms of your body transformation? Are you looking to, if you are looking to lose weight, go ahead and drop a W. If you are looking to just
get jacked,
go ahead and drop a J. Or if you're looking to just optimize your body composition, it sounds a bit technical, which means I'm not really looking to losing any weight, but I just want to look more defined, then go ahead and drop a D. So a W, a D, or a J. Where are you at?
And do not confuse D and W, because we sell ourselves short often on what we want. If you want to lose weight and it's like more than 15 pounds, put W. Because I know you also want to look more defined and get toned and all of that. But the distinction between the two is the D is I don't really have a lot of weight that I want to lose, but I want to tighten. So if you want to lose weight, don't confuse the two. And also, you said I said it in a twisted way. So I'm also curious to know who else is just twisted. Like, anybody here also just twisted? Like, yeah, that's okay.
We're all twisted. We're all twisted. It's all good. So, okay, in the chat.
Here's to my twisted Tinas.
DJ. Okay, for those of you who put 2, so I'll give you a coaching moment right now. Choose one. Because you see, if you are diverted from a tactical standpoint in what you're striving for, then you're just going to be confused. I feel like maybe we should change the conversation to, are you putting your eggs in all the baskets? You know what I mean? Yes, of course, if you're going to lose, if let's say you want to drop 30 pounds and you want to look more toned, whenever you drop the pounds, you're going to look more toned. Jacked means I'm looking to just add muscle.
Let me rephrase this to make it more clear. If you could only pick one to do right now, and that's the only thing that you could focus on, what would it be? So if you said this and then this, it would be the first one.
Yeah. Choose one.
Pick one.
Choose one.
This will help you focus.
Good on that. Because I'll tell you this, you know, when you're a go-getter, you may want to accomplish a few things. And I'll tell you, one of my very first mentors told me this, and she said, Sarit, she's like, in life, you can have anything, but you can't have everything at the same time. So I share this with you because if you are approaching whatever goal you have as, I want everything right now, then you're actually taking away from your progress. So maybe that is the first lesson for today. However, if you feel like your progress has stalled, today we're going to be talking about the 3 S's that could
Plus
be
a bonus
holding you
S.
back, plus a bonus one.
And you don't even know what it is.
No,
because I just thought of it. I
Oh,
feel like a
so
genius.
good.
I feel like
So
I
good.
should have worn my genius shirt today.
Okay, so let's see. So W. Okay, I see mostly W from you guys in the chat. Okay, so pay attention to this. W's. This
I
applies
see some
for
twisted homies.
this applies for everybody. Okay, but especially for anybody who dropped the W. By the way, if you dropped the W, for the sake of accountability and just so that we can get to know you better, how much W are we looking for? Like, is it 15 pounds? Is it 30 pounds? Is it 50 pounds?
Is it 100 pounds?
Is it 100 pounds?
You know what would be cool too? We'll give you a little challenge, just a little one. It's not nothing crazy, okay? You don't have to go run a marathon. Make a post on our Facebook group. Make a post on our Facebook group. I'm going to drop the link in here in case you don't have the Facebook group. But make a post on our Facebook group and declare what you want. Not what I think is maybe perhaps when all the stars are aligned and there's a full moon possible. But what you want, and declare, I'm here to lose blank number of pounds. Jesus, take the wheel. That's it. That's where we start. Wow. And then what happens is our whole coaching team can see you. We can see you. And then you can get help. But if you just hide away in the corner, you don't get any help from us. And you're here because that's what you're looking for.
Ooh, 100 pounds. Let's go. Love that. 25 pounds. Whoever is 100 pounds, I can only see Facebook user. What's your name? Oh, I see more. 20, 85.
Yeah.
Okay, so
this is amazing.
So to go off on what you said, a lot of times when somebody tells, and I'm just telling you from my own life experience and how I operate, when I'm just told make a post to make a post, I'm unlikely to do it. So here's what I say. Or for anybody who, if you know that you want to lose weight and you drop the number and you're going to make a post, Erin and I are going to do something special for you. We're going to need to talk about it. So I don't know what it is, but we will reach out to you. Okay. And it's important that you make a post because we don't know who to reach out to.
Can they use a hashtag or something so that we know?
Yeah.
How to find
hashtag ESArmy.
More people have used that hashtag.
Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Hashtag today's March 27th. So 0327.
Hashtag. Are you going to remember that? 0327.
Yes. 0327.
That's a weird hashtag.
Okay. Lose weight 2023.
Ooh. LW223.
Lose weight 2023.
2023.
Yes.
LW2023. Okay, here you go, guys.
Okay, so make a post. We're going to do something special for you. And you want to use that hashtag because when you use that hashtag, we'll be able to find you. Okay? That's our commitment to you guys. All right, so let's get to it, shall we?
Shall we?
Good morning. Did you guys bring your espresso? What are you drinking with us this morning? I'll tell you what I'm drinking. So this morning,
you need a little table.
I know. I do need a little table. A little. This morning, I've got with me, in case you don't know, the coffee brand called Phil's. Phil's Coffee.
Shout out SoCal.
Shout out, yes. Phil's Coffee. This is the Silken Splendor, which is a medium roast with a double shot of espresso, some steamed almond milk, and
this one is good too.
And the super creamer.
Black Rifle.
Oh, Black Rifle is good, dude. We had it in during Christmas. Their Christmas
so good
lineup is bomb.com. Okay, what about the rest of you guys? What are you drinking with us this morning?
Collagen and greens and hot water. Americano with coconut milk and agave.
All right, all right.
Nevada Black.
Nevada Black. What the heck is that?
Look at all you guys with all your healthy.
Teach us.
I see some water, no coffee. Water, no coffee.
All good.
Wonderful.
Okay, so let's get to it. Things you should be aware of, aka beware of, should you feel like your progress is stalling. First and foremost, your progress stalling is just a part of the process. However, in order for us to control the controllable, what we first want to pay attention to is the 3 S's plus the bonus one that we're going to be talking about today.
That nobody knows.
Okay, so the first one.
Can anybody guess what it is? We'll guess later. The first one. Okay, first one. Go. We'll guess later. I said. I can see.
Jambalaya.
I can see your brain. Gosh, y'all know what it is.
Okay, so let's get to it. So the first one is sugar, and if you have been like way on your way with regards to your weight loss journey, in the sense that you're like, dude, like we were watching this Friday night, we were watching this stand-up comedian, and she was talking about like eating chocolate cake at 10 a.m. And it's like, if you know that like that is like for sure like no longer your lifestyle. It's like, not only do I not eat, chocolate cake for breakfast, as a matter of fact, like I no longer like eat these things in my diet. Let me tell you something. There is hidden sugars literally in almost anything that you're consuming. So what you want to really pay close attention to is not just okay, where am I at in my sugar consumption curve? Because most people in society are just unaware and uncaring. Now, let's say you have gone to the point where you're caring, okay? You're like, okay, well, for sure, I'm not just going to eat chocolate cake at 10 a.m., right? But you might be running into, maybe your runway is longer because maybe you've been using sugar as a coping mechanism. For example, I used to struggle with my weight for a really long time. And for me, my coping mechanism was binge eating chocolate. So, like if from a mental standpoint, you haven't gone over that hurdle yet, that could still be something that can stumble you, let's say if you're having a bad day, if it's right before you're about to get your period, or for any of the dudes watching, I definitely know that you can totally relate to the period factor.
If Juan is here.
Yeah. Or anything along those lines. Okay. Now, let's say we've gone over that hurdle and you're like, dude, yes, like I'm eating clean, I'm in control of my food. Then the next thing that we need to pay closer attention to is, are you eating any hidden sugars? Did you guys know that sugar now has more than 50 names? So you could be eating sugar and not even being aware of that. Okay. So like, for example,
I want to make a list for you guys, by the way.
I'm
going to do this.
I'll do it today. Make a list for them.
I'm going to do it today. I'm going to make a list for you of every possible name, maybe, unless there's ones that we don't know yet, for sugar, or an artificial sugar, artificial sweetener, something like that.
Yeah. So you got to pay. Yeah, we'll create that and we'll send it to you guys. By the way, in the case that they're not getting their emails, how can they get our emails?
Yes, in the case that you're not getting our emails or you don't know if you're getting all of our emails, go to your email inbox and search. You know how to use the little search bar? You're smart. You know how to use the search bar. And you just search Emunah Strength in your little search bar. Now, do this in your promotions tab. So when you look at your inbox, bing, on the left-hand side, if you're on a desktop or a laptop, if you're on a phone, I think there's a little like menu button you have to click or something, and you can find your promotions or spam or junk or whatever it's called, depending on the email provider that you use. For Gmail, it's called promotions. And search for Emunah Strength in your promotions tab. I bet you will find some of our emails there that have amazing goodies in them that you're missing. So what you can do is you can click and hold and then drag it in to your inbox and then let go, release. And then you can also go into your contacts in your email and you can save our email address in your contacts. I will email out this list of sugars or names for sugar. And if you're not getting our emails or if you unsubscribed, not offended by it, but you won't get it because legally we're not able to email you. So you'll need to resubscribe somehow. Not really sure how to do that, but if you want to do it bad enough, you'll figure out how.
You know what we should do? We should also put that list on the website, like as a pop-up button.
Okay, great. We can talk about that later.
Yeah,
back to the show.
Okay, I'm just gonna write it down. You guys, I'm gonna write it down real quick. You guys inspire us to become better.
Ideas.
I want you to know. So thank you for inspiring us to want to help you better and to helping more people better. And by the way, if you're finding value in these teachings, please share the love. Subscribe to our channels. Share the love. Okay,
got it.
So sugar. Okay, hidden sugars. For example, something else to know is that so the sugars that you need to pay most attention to that are like, it's like if there was a hierarchy to like the lowest of low sugar that like you just simply must abstain from. I will not tell you if you consume sugar on a regular basis to cold turkey, cut it out because, I believe it's going to cause a lot of side effects. I believe that there should be a gradual progression. At least that's what we do with our that's what we do with our coaching clients. That's what has helped us to get out of, our own dependency on sugar. However, corn syrup and high fructose corn syrup, you must eliminate because those are not even like nature-made sugars.
No gradual? Full elimination.
Full elimination, because these are man-made sugars that are made to make you addicted.
And any product that they are in, there is another product that doesn't have it.
Yeah.
I can say for almost every single product that includes high fructose corn syrup or corn syrup, there's a different product that is the same thing, like ketchup, for example. If there's high fructose corn syrup and ketchup, find a different ketchup that doesn't have it. So it's not like you can't have ketchup or whatever the item is or product, marinades, dressings. It's in a lot of those type of things. Cereals. There's another product that's very similar that doesn't have it. So this is just about being aware that those are the things that you can cut cold turkey without actually cutting the product itself out.
Yeah. Okay. So that's thing number one. Thing number two is stress. Maybe you're the type of person who's actually doing all the things right, in the sense that you're like, okay, Erin and Sarit, I'm consistent with my workouts. Okay, Erin and Sarit, like, I think for the most part, I'm okay with my eating. We kind of just went over that. However, I'll tell you, stress causes a hormonal response just like sugar causes a hormonal response. And when you are in an ongoing stressful mode, what's going to happen is, number one, from a behavioral standpoint, you're going to have a greater likelihood of, like just wanting to snack more or wanting to eat more sugar. However, even if you're like, I'm fully resilient, fully disciplined, like, no, you're not getting in my way. What's still going to happen is that you're going to release hormones that are going to trigger weight gain or slow down your weight loss. And I share this with you because I'm not sure where you're at in the process. And from a what you're consuming standpoint, you might have gone to a point where you've had full control. However, if your internal environment is contradicting what it is that you're working towards, then that is definitely something to take a look at. And if you wanted just our own opinion with regards to, okay, like, what would you recommend for us to do with regards to stress? I like to coach based on my own experience and based of just the experience that I've seen, from the results that we're able to help our clients. And, for one, you want to examine your sleep. Chances are is that if your stress is higher, that number one, you're either not getting enough sleep, your sleep quality is compromised, or both. So, in the case that that your sleep is compromised, the first thing that I would recommend that you do is you set an intention to perhaps increase your sleep by only 15 minutes. Like you go, let's say if you get 5 hours of sleep and you should get 7, like just bringing an additional 2 hours out of thin air, I believe that it is a very stressful experience. It's almost like telling someone who is used to eating sugar regularly to cold turkey cut out sugar. I believe that, through a gradual climb, you will be able to achieve consistency sooner, and therefore recommend that. And normally, if your sleep quality is compromised, 90% of the time, it has something to do with your sleep quantity. So if, let's say, your sleep quality is compromised, things that you need to pay attention to is what does your nutrition look like? And especially, are you eating processed sugars before you go to bed? Or are you drinking heavy alcohol before you go to bed? Do you take anything to make you go to sleep? If so, is it artificial? Is it high in chemicals? Because all of those are actually going to hinder your sleep quality. Aside from the fact that high stress can definitely lower our sleep quality. However, you want to manipulate one thing at a time. So that's definitely something to pay attention to.
I want to go on one really small tangent about the 15 minutes increments. Usually this is how we start all our clients, with small increments. And what we hear most of the time is, are you sure that that's going to work? It's because it feels like that's not enough to make a difference. But let me tell you something. That's perfect. If it doesn't feel hard, then that means you can follow through with it. And then you add another 15 minutes when it's not hard. If that's not hard because it's never hard the first day. You're super motivated, you're inspired, you just got this new piece of information and I'm going to tackle it. But it's hard after week 1, after week 2, after week 3, after week 4, unless it's a small enough change to not feel like it's a big deal. So do the 15 minutes for an entire week. And if it's hard after the first week, then keep doing it until it's not hard anymore. But if you start with, 2 hours, because that's what's going to work the most, and that's the only thing that's going to make a difference, then you'll be over it after the first day. Okay? How am I going to find 2 extra hours every single day? But you can find 15 minutes. And then you can probably find another 15 minutes after a couple of weeks. You're like, oh yeah, I probably shouldn't scroll through Instagram or TikTok for that extra 30 minutes at work. Be more productive, leave early, go home. Okay, cool. And you start figuring out ways to get another 15 minutes. So anywho, You build, and then that's how it becomes effective. Then you look back at your life and you're like, shit, well, I haven't really made a lot of dramatic changes, but look at, I have made dramatic changes. Just happened over time.
Yeah.
So take the coaching.
Yeah. Okay. Um, you know, and then other things that you can do to reduce your stress is, of course, you know, like stress relieving techniques like meditation, like, you know, unplugging and giving yourself more time, you know, to be present. For anybody who's been in our community for quite some time, you probably have the ES journal. So like journaling, like, you know, doing your gratitude, writing your goals down, you know, providing your mind time and space to think and to take a second to just assess your life and where it is that you want to go.
Unplugging is also a great way to get ready for bed. If you put away your electronics like 30 minutes before you actually go to bed, great way to improve quality.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so stress, that's number 2. So remember, the first 2 that we just talked about, they physiologically cause a hormonal response that is going to make it harder for you to drop weight. And because of that, you're going to have you could potentially have an inverse effect. Like it can lead to increased weight gain depending on whatever other biological factors and environmental factors we are working with.
And this is a double-edged sword, because when we don't make progress the way that we want to, the first thing in my experience that most women jump to is, I need to work out more. And that is absolutely not what needs to happen. Because when you work out, that is a physical stress to your body. It's a physical stress. Your body does not differentiate the difference between emotional stress, mental stress, physical stress. It just says one big stress bucket and it all goes in there. So if you're, and stress, also another way to understand this is like, I'm in fight or flight. I'm like ready to go. My adrenaline is going often. I'm going like it's like you flip the switch on. I'm always go, 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 go. I'm never present. I eat my food in front of a computer or the TV or looking at my phone. I'm constantly doing more than one thing at a time. I have no break in between anything. I go from one thing to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. I wake up in a frantic, it's time to go, like 20 minutes before work, and it takes me 10 to get there. So grab something, leave the house. Like that is in your sympathetic nervous system, and you will never be able to lose weight from that zone. So it doesn't mean you just need to go work out more because you need to burn more calories, because it's also more stress. It means you need to take a chill pill, but not use that as a justification to not also do like eat well and move your body. It is important, but maybe you go for a walk instead of like trying to do a max back squats or something.
Yeah.
Anyways, another tangent.
Yeah. And then the last piece of it is that one may be a little bit harder to comprehend. However, it's definitely something to consider, is the energy that you're putting towards yourself. And that's where shame comes in. Like, are you feeling shameful about your body? And are you looking at yourself in a way that is compromised, that is lowering your frequency and, you know, like how you feel about yourself? Or are you looking at yourself in an empowering way? And I share this with you because this is from a, you know, I don't like to use the word mindset, but from a, you know, just from a mental standpoint, or the mental factor that's associated with it, is that our mind is made up of both our conscious and our subconscious. And when you have thoughts that are that have a lower frequency, it lowers you and how you're showing up in the world. And on a subconscious level, when you're leading with shame, by the way, this is one of the reasons for anybody who was with us at the start of this video, we told you, if you know that your goal is weight loss, go ahead or this is for everybody, even if it's body composition or getting more jacked. We just saw weight loss being the most predominant one. Go ahead and make a post and tell us, what is your goal specifically? We're going to do something special for you. Just make sure you use the hashtag lose weight WL 2023.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, I think so. So that we can see you, because otherwise we won't know who to reach out to. Anyways, but like your viewpoint about yourself on a subconscious level is going to determine how you act towards yourself and how you show up in the world, which is going to either block you mentally. You can want to lose weight for as long as you want, but if mentally you're blocked, what the mind perceives, it will create. So if you're perceiving yourself as a lesser than, as a unworthy, as a that sort of thing, you're going to show up in the world as that, which means that is what you are going to get, more of the same thing. And I share this with you to bring to your awareness that your perception about yourself will determine your potential. Okay. I wanted to add something with so, let's say if you're at a point where your potential is a lot greater, you can pursue it in one of two ways. You can either go into it from a place of shame, like I am shameful of myself because I know that I can do so much better and I'm not there yet. And that is going to create more of that same thing that you've been creating, right? Or you can have what's called inspired dissatisfaction. Like, yes, I've accepted that I can do better. However, I'm not using it to lower how I view myself and how I show up in the world. So I focus on not everything that I'm not, but I'm aware of where I am and I'm focused on everything that I could be more of.
I want to put this into an analogy that I think you all will understand. If you're driving your car down the road, and if you took your eyes off the road and you looked left with your whole head, eventually, if you did that for long enough, which direction do you think the car would start veering, left or right? The direction you're looking or the direction you're not looking? This is good, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Just thought about this. What do you guys, I'm looking for engagement. I'm looking for participation. Is your car going to go the way that you're looking or the way that you're not looking? Your car is going to go the way that you're looking.
Mm-hmm.
Because you were teaching me how to play tennis yesterday, and she told me like where to put my body, because depending on where my body is at and where I'm looking or where I'm able to turn my head, the ball is also like more likely to go. So it's the same thing. If you're focused, like your results are going to end up where your focus is. So if you're focused on the shame, which by the way, I looked up the definition. Shame is a painful feeling of humiliation or distress caused by the consciousness of a wrong or foolish behavior. I'm going to read it again. Shame is the painful feeling of humiliation or distress caused by the conscious consciousness of wrong or foolish behavior. So you feel like a piece of shit because you're consciously aware that something you did was shitty. That's how I say it in my terms. Now, here's the deal. There's no way to escape the shitty doing because we all do it. If you are a human being, you are going to make a mistake. You're going to be wrong. You're going to fall down. You're going to backtrack. You're going to say the wrong thing to somebody. It's just a part of human nature.
Yeah.
Shame is a choice. You get to choose feeling negatively about something you did because whatever reason you choose. Oh, I should know better. Maybe, maybe not. Why do I keep doing this? Maybe you need to get help from somebody. I remember the biggest part of my shame came from losing the battle to binge eating every night. And I would wake up and I'd feel so shitty. But I needed somebody else. I needed somebody else's support.
If you know that you struggle with shame, let's just open up about it. Can you just go ahead and drop an S in the chat? Wow.
Party. But here's the deal. To end that loop, you can only move forward if you are willing to have grace with yourself and stop it with the shame.
I think that is the hardest thing.
100%, I would agree.
With regards to your journey, that, especially if you've been at it for a long time, I believe that is the hardest thing to come out of. The mechanical stuff, because how you show up for the mechanical stuff have everything to do with that. Like, that is what generates literally everything else. And because so much of it happens on a subconscious level where you're not even aware of it. Some of you guys might have carried shame your entire life and you were not even aware of it. And this could be due to something that you've experienced when you were 3 years old. And that transfers over to your relationship with yourself, your relationship with food, your relationship with everything else. However, it's important to talk about it because how you do one thing is how you do everything. Okay. And I'll tell you this, like, the reason why our coaching clients get the best results, while if you were to just binge watch on YouTube, we were talking about that yesterday, you can get to your goal. It is simply because the hardest thing to comprehend is the stuff beneath the mechanics. The mechanics, it's like, okay, like, oh, like, eat more real foods versus processed foods. Okay, yeah, I know that, right? But it's like, oh, why do I go for it whenever like somebody tells me this thing? That's a completely different thing to overcome.
You know what else I realized too is what we were talking about yesterday is if you had no money to do any of our programs, you could go onto our YouTube channel and you can watch all the information you possibly need in regards to the way that you think, your perspective on different situations, what we're talking about today, the mechanics of weight loss, sustainably. You can find all of it on our YouTube channel for free. All of it. What people get the best results, no matter what. If it's you want to make more money, you want to lose weight and be fit, you want to have better relationships, you want to elevate your career, whatever it is. The level of success is determined by the level of support you have. So people who are in the inner circle have the highest level of support. They're going to get the best results. People in the Rock and Body Transformation Program have a layer of great support. They're going to more likely to get a certain level of results. Somebody watching all the YouTube videos, even though the information is there, you guys, we don't lack information in this world. You can also go online and look about how to make $1 million. But But how much confidence do you have to make $1 million by watching videos of people telling you how to do it versus working with a coach that's made multi-millions of dollars? They can tell you exactly what to do, and your level of confidence in them is so much greater because the level of confidence you have in yourself is low because why? You haven't gotten there yet.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't, hold on. That doesn't make you bad either. It doesn't make you bad. And it also doesn't mean you have to do a program or work with a coach. I'm just saying the better results you want to get in a more guaranteed way, increase your level of support. And usually the best level of support you can get, you pay for.
I see Amy Gillespie in the chat, and it just reminds me of where you're currently at in your journey, Amy Gillespie. It's like, you see, when you are looking at your journey, you're only looking at it based on either what you've known or based on where you're currently at. It's a completely different conversation when you have somebody who has, like just walked either a couple miles or a bunch of miles ahead of you, who's looking at the jar and flashing at, okay, you need to climb up by taking like 1 degree to, northeast, because you are just trying to do what you've always done.
There's a different view. Think about.
Yes. And also the view is less emotional because you're not experiencing it. And I just share it with you from experience because, like when you're going at it, and let's say you've been trying to lose weight for 20 or 30 years, your level of belief and confidence in you is going to be more compromised than somebody who never tried before, because the context that you're going into it is, you've experienced so much failure, you've experienced so much defeat, and I share this with you too to empower you, because I believe that the more failure you've experienced, the more wisdom you have. It took me literally 10 or 11 years of just fall on your face. And I'll tell you, I'll never take it back.
You wouldn't be able to help?
I won't be able to relate to the people that I'm helping had it not been that way. Because when you've walked the same path, you know what it feels like. You know what it looks like. You know how to speak in a language that, when you share, let's say, a story, you're like, oh, dude, like, I feel emotionally attached to the story because, like, I can resonate with this. It's not like me just pulling up theory out of my ass.
You know what the other superpower is? In having experienced the whole shitstorm in your own life, you have a superpower that is
humility.
You can hear what's not being said.
Yes.
I know what you're thinking, and you don't even comprehend that you're thinking it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I put myself back in that position. And I remember, so like if I'm ever on the phone with somebody and we're having a conversation, you say something to me, I know what you're saying that you're also not saying. Because I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
And I've overcome it.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the other superpower that like a mentor or a coach or a leader has, that has been through what you're going through. They know what you're feeling when you don't even know how to express it yourself. They can express it better than you can. True or not true? Anybody who's been in the inner circle, anybody who's gotten coaching directly from me or Sarit, true or not true, we can express what you're feeling better than you can. I want to see it. Don't lie. Don't say true just to please me, or because that's what I want you to say. Be real. True or not true?
Charlene, you fixed your Facebook. Good for you.
It's legit. Oh, here they come. Bang, 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 bang. So good. And that's why we would never take back what we experienced, as crappy as it was in the moment. I want to share the fourth S that I thought about.
Let's go.
Self-sabotage. You get a double whammy, a double S. Self-sabotage. And shame leads to self-sabotage. This is why it's important to overcome the shame part, because, fat bastard and Austin Powers said, I eat because I'm fat and I'm fat because I eat. It's a downward spiral. I self-sabotage because I'm ashamed, and I'm ashamed because I self-sabotage. Yes or no? So, and self-sabotage is like, well, it can look like I already messed up today, so I might as well just whatever. Or, in your mind, you're thinking, if you are in that moment of shame, you're also thinking to yourself like, oh, who am I? Like, this isn't going to work for me. And then poof, sabotage, right? Or it could also look like you starting to get close to your goals and then being afraid of the success, boom, sabotage.
This happens so often.
Because you don't know what to do with it. Why would somebody be afraid to succeed? Oh my gosh, I'm scared of success. Why? I'll tell you, I experienced it one time. I was in the shower and I was deathly fucking terrified of nothing. Fear is just literally made up in your mind. And I was deathly terrified. Why? In our business, I'll be very honest, in our business, this was like maybe 4 years ago or 3.5 years ago. I was in the shower, California house, La Costa Avenue. And we had just hit, like, our business did some kind of revenue that was like way beyond what we ever did. And it was like, oh my gosh, mind blowing.
Yeah, we had to walk on the beach.
And I got scared because I didn't know how to replicate it. I said, oh shit. Now we have a new standard. Uh-oh. The bar just got raised. Now there's more pressure. And when you have that pressure, you get scared. So what do? Sabotage to release the pressure. Good thing I don't even have to try to do that now, right? That's the fear of success. Is the standard is higher now. You prove to yourself you can do something. How do you beat it?
And this is the power of not going through it alone, right?
100%,
it's like
100%.
You also hear a lot of like elite athletes talk about it. It's like, this is why, like, there's a difference between winning the Super Bowl one time and winning multiple rings. This is, for anybody who knows me, this is why, like, I view Michael Jordan and Tom Brady with so much respect because it's undeniable. When you have replicated literally like something that is such elevated performance, that's when you know that it is not a fluke. It's not because that season you happen to have the best coach or the best team. It's like, no, it is you. You are the real deal. And, this is why.
Same thing with artists that have tons of hits versus one.
Yes, right. Like, great. Like, this is why, like, for example, like Pink, Lady Gaga, Madonna, like,
Queen.
I don't care what you say about them. They're undeniable, man. Because when you can have that many multiple records and, like, hit an all-time high and you still have your shit together and you can, replicate, your performance or even make it better
in a changing world.
Yes. Right. So yeah. And, I believe that this is also the power of a support system.
So I want to, if you are not currently getting help from us in some way or capacity, and you want it, and you're interested in doing some kind of program or coaching with us in some capacity, just put help in the comments. If you don't, it's totally cool. I'm not attached to it, but I want to see you if you do want that. No matter what, whether it's us or somebody else or somewhere else or something else, just, the level of support you have is going to more so guarantee the level of results that you get long-term. So that's all I want you to take away from that. If you want to stop with the shame, the self-sabotage, get your stress under control, and your sugar under control, get some accountability and some support from someone who is not super close to you, not a husband or a wife or a BFF, because you have too close of a relationship that you can get away with shit. So it usually just doesn't work. My husband is so supportive. He'll let you get away with shit.
I'll tell you how to determine somebody who is qualified to help you. Okay. Whether it's, Erin, myself, and our team, or somebody else, it doesn't matter. I'll just tell you from a professional standpoint, what does it take? Number one, are they walking the walk in the sense that can you, of course, with regards to their body, are they farther along in the road than you? The reason why you want to pay attention to that is because from a leadership standpoint, this is what John Maxwell talks about, the law of the lid. You cannot take somebody farther along the road than you have walked yourself because you simply don't know what it looks like. Okay, so for example, let's say your goal is, to weigh 175 pounds, like with all due respect, you can, like work with someone who weighs 200 pounds and they can have all of the educational credentials and, they can have, the best heart. However, from a tactical standpoint, because like you hit different mental break points that you have to overcome based on how far you want to go. I just share this with you, from experience, coaching others and having walked through that. So whoever that is, you want to make sure that they're farther along in the road than you. Now, thing number two is, do you look up to that person in the sense that when they tell you something, like, are you like, okay, I'm going to listen to them? Or are you going to, listen to yourself even when you're given advice? And I believe that this is when inspiration comes in, because when you feel inspired by someone, there's going to be this magic ingredient. It's almost like cinnamon, in your coffee, where you're like, oh, okay. Even though my mind's telling me to, like run backwards, they just said run forwards. Okay, fine. And then the other thing is, how many life cycles have they overcome and sustained that result with themselves? Because I'll tell you, it is one thing to get to a certain weight, and it's one thing to keep that weight and, overcome multiple big life adversities. And only time can tell how that person handles it, because that's how you know that the habits have fully molded. Otherwise, if they're not in full control, then again, you can only lead someone to the degree that you have led yourself. Okay, so just a couple of things to consider with regards to that. Anything else you want to share or add today? All right, you guys.
I'm complete. I am complete. Thank you for joining us. If this did bring value to you, the greatest gift that you can give to the people that you love who need this information or would benefit by hearing it is to share it with them. If you're on YouTube, you can, or Facebook, you can just click share underneath. You can copy a link. You can post it on your Facebook page, whatever it is. Just, that's all we ask, is that you spread the love. Okay. And we're going to see you Thursday, because we're doing another episode. At what time?
I think Thursday we're going at 11.
I'll tell you.
We'll tell you guys.
Who can find it first? Who can find it first? Espresso with Aaron and Sarit. 11 a.m. Bang. Bingo.
Do we have an email going out, right?
We will.
Okay. All right.
Check your emails. All right, you guys, have a beautiful day and a great start to your week. And we will see you in a couple of days. Bye.